We are committed to enabling IT to empower end users and bring the Apple experience users expect to their business and education institutions, along with government organizations. We've become the Apple enterprise management platform. So my role is focused on bringing all aspects of our available data together in a way that makes it possible to provide valuable insights to both our organization and our customers. It's very specific to product data, and I tend to break that up into three different categories. So there's the interaction data, which is mostly the data that we leverage from Pendo. There's configuration data that comes from the product and tells us the configured state of specific features. And finally, we've got the product performance data, which is mostly how we gather that from our cloud engineering teams and tells us how performant the actual product is being. So the magic really happens when we combine all three of those categories to tell us a full story. It can happen from just a simple, casual conversation where a data team member will share an insight or prove impact with data, and that turns the recipient of that into a data champion. The key metric that I use knowing that we're successful at this is when I start to see data coming back to me that I know I've provided to another team member, and it's kind of done that full circle all the way around the org. I find it's all down to what do you actually care about and what action do you want to take based on knowing that metric. Is there an action that can be driven from that metric or KPI? And then if there is, that might be a good one to measure. It's really good practice to reevaluate those metrics and KPIs if they've been in place for a while, and really sort of touch back again and say, is this still valuable, or are there other dimensions that have evolved over time? As we're sort of thinking about a new idea or a new functionality, new features, we're really using that upfront data during the discovery to validate and ensure that we're providing as much value in our first iterations as possible. I find that once a customer starts using a new feature, they come up with so many additional ideas to make the feature even better. One of the best questions that we ask in-app is, what did you expect this feature to do? And from that, we're able to get some really impressive and feedback to lead us into how we work on our next iterations. I have so many examples of this, but I'm going to tell you about my favorite one. Most of the time we're tagging features, pages, very typical components that our users interact with. We decided that we wanted to start trying to tag some elements that weren't necessarily functional elements. The tagging showed that there was a significant number of our users who were expecting this text area to do something. And so we ended up attaching a guide to this non-clickable area, which would only present itself when a user clicked it. And that was where we used the, hey, what did you expect to happen here? We got nearly 100% of the feedback was telling us, hey, I expected it to navigate me to this particular area of the product. And it was a great, simple discovery that enabled us to have a quick win.